From all of us at the AO Studios to all of you, Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year, Happy Kwanzaa, and Happy Hanukkah.
Happy holidays, y'all.
It's Red Light, Green Light 1, 2, 3 with D and Z. Here are your hosts, D and Z.
Welcome everybody to Red Light, Green Light 1, 2, 3 with D and Z. I am Z, and here's how it goes. D and I give you our top 1, 2, 3 fantasy starts or green lights, and our top 1, 2, 3 fantasy sits or red lights for Fantasy Championship Weekend. Let's see what we got. Who are your top 1, 2, 3 fantasy starts? D, who are your green lights?
All right, so first up, well, that was last week.
Whoopsies.
Like, that wasn't so good last week.
Last week we had a couple
First
of real
up,
stumbles.
I've got a gem, everyone. I have a gem. You want to win the fantasy championship? You need to go pick up the Colts defense off the waiver wire stat. There will be sacks. There will be defensive touchdowns. There will be fumbles against the Giants in New York and in New Jersey, in the swamps of New Jersey.
We don't claim them. It's New Jersey.
The Giants, who look poised to land the number 1 pick. Drew Lock, Tim Boyle, doesn't matter. It will be a disaster. Number 2, if he's on your team, you probably already know, but Jackson Smith-Njigba is the truth. I think he's replaced DK as the number 1 receiver in Seattle. Start him in your championship game if he's on your team. And number 3, the guy who helped me get to the championship, Tyjae Spears. Last 2 weeks, he has been scoring 20 points. He is the backup running back on Tennessee. It seems like Tennessee starts Pollard, plays Pollard, but once the game is out of reach or they get behind, they just throw Spears in there and he does everything. So I think they will give Jacksonville a heavy dose of Tyjae Spears. What do you got? C.
I mean, you're not wrong. They just pound the rock. You want to talk about pound the rock? James Cook against the Jets. All day. Right in the kitchen. All day. All day. You're going to see it. You're going to see it. And you're going to get sick and tired of it. Because there's going to be so much Cook, you're not going to know what to do with it. Number 2. Jonathan Taylor against the Giants. Oh, God. Anthony Richardson will probably not need to throw a pass in this game. It's going to be that bad. It is going to be an absolute dumpster fire. And, yeah, it is what it is. And number 3, I don't know. I got to feel like you mentioned before about the Dolphins and the Browns. It's going to be cold. Which team plays better in the cold? I think Jerome Ford is going to have a big day. I don't know. I got this like as a flex option. I see Jerome Ford, and I think he can have a big day against the Miami defense in frigid Cleveland. I think that's something that can work because we've already seen Miami collapse in the cold. They quit and they crumpled in the cold. So against my better judgment, I picked him, but I think Jerome Ford is going to have a day. Those are our green lights. Who are your red lights, D?
All right, so my first red light is Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
The Jets are playing. He's a wide receiver in New York Jets. The Jets are playing Buffalo in Buffalo on Sunday, and it's just a tough place to pass in December. And I don't think there will be any prolific receiving yards or receiving touchdowns in Buffalo. No. Number 2, I'm taking Patrick Mahomes. Odds are, if he's on your team, you did not make it to the fantasy championship. But if he's on waivers, don't bother picking him up. The Chiefs really haven't been lighting it up this year. He's been really inconsistent. They're playing in Pittsburgh in December. Another tough place to pass unless you're Tom Brady or Peyton Manning. And number 3, I'm going with another Chief. I'm going with Isaiah Pacheco. It's just hard to gauge which Chiefs back will be utilized. The Chiefs do not score a lot of points, as I mentioned previously, and he hasn't had a touchdown since he's come back from his broken fibula. So I would just start Hunt or not start a Chief at all. What do you got, Z?
That's fair. since we don't know of his injury status, if you have Jalen Hurts, I would firmly say do not start him because we don't know if he's going to play. And to be fair, even if you had Kenny Pickett, I wouldn't start Kenny Pickett either. This is going to be a Saquon down your throat game. This is going to be absolutely a Saquon, especially if you're playing Saquon in the championship finals. Be prepared. You're probably going to get your ass waxed. Number 2. I would stay away from any Falcons skill position players against the commies. So if you have London, if you have Pitts, I would stay away from that. Rookie quarterback against a better coach team, against an actual football team, that's going to be a problem. Like Bijan, maybe, but Pitts, London, if you have those players, firmly put their asses on the bench. And then number 3, Niners defense against the Lions. The Lions are going out to Santa Clara. They're going to make a point on Monday. So do not start the Niners defense at all. Absolute red light. Firm red light. Those are our red lights. Those are our green lights. What are yours? Hit us up, faderoutemail@gmail.com. Slide in our DMs on IG at FadeRoute Podcast, or drop us a line on X at FadeRouteDNZ. Good luck in your fantasy championship matchups. It's time for us to run the go route again. We will talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening to this episode of our podcast. If you liked what you heard and you want to hear more, be sure to like and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Leave us a review, rate us 5 stars, turn on subscription notifications, and share on social media. Tell your friends and spread the word.